What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to look at the review scores for Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. We're 2 days away, folks. I'm getting extremely excited. And, as I always say with review scores, make the decision on your own based off the stuff that you have seen. And at the very least, if you're going to go based off review scores, at least go off more than one, right? So it's got a 79 right now on Metacritic, which is pretty darn solid. Again, I don't care about the scores. I don't even know what the scores of the other, Yakuza games, formerly, I guess, Yakuza games were. But one thing I will say that I think we can get out of these reviews, okay, is a general impression that it is short. This is a shorter game. Now, for me, that is totally fine. Also, it's kind of what we thought, right, in terms of that shorter length. This is and I actually saw a couple reviews talked about how maybe it could have even been like a flashback kind of scene that they could have put in Infinite Wealth. And remember, we went over the news story that originally this was going to just be like a DLC/side thing for the next game, okay? And they thought there was something there, and they made it its own game. I saw some different lengths around. One of them said to do literally everything was 25 hours. I saw one that talked about the main story and that it was 12 hours just for the story stuff. I saw 5 chapters is what somebody says. There's 5 chapters in the game. And then it really depends on the score, like how much people liked it. Like that, in a nutshell, that is what the reviews for this game is. Everybody's saying it is short, kind of short but sweet, right? Like, it's great to see Kiryu again. It's great to spend some time with him. It's a shorter, more condensed story, and even shorter, just, side things to do. Again, it's going to take you anywhere between 12 hours if you kind of just do the story, or, 20, 25 hours if you do everything. And then the rest of it, the score itself, really is how much you value that, right? On the lower end, like, this game does have a lot of 70s on this site. And what you kind of see from those 70s is a reoccurring thing of, is it worth the money? Now, and I'm not going to go too deep into that, right? But the whole idea of, length versus amount of money put in. Look, for me, it's quality over quantity. It is not, it doesn't need to be 20 hours. It doesn't even need to be 15 or 10. If it's worth the money, for me, that's what it is. I've seen other people say it in a good way as well, where, have the game be as long as the game needs to be, right? No more, no less. Have it be as long as the game needs. So that's a good mentality to have, and that's kind of what you see in these reviews. The higher scores don't mind the shorter length. I think they generally like the story more overall. Lower scores think that it wasn't really enough, and you see a lot of kind of quotes of did it need to exist? Does this game need to exist? I'll be doing a review as soon as I play this game, beat this game. I'll be doing a review on the main channel on Podcast Now, and that is something, I guess I'll be thinking about. Does it justify its existence? And the price is important, right? Does it need to actually be a game? But one thing to throw out there, right? I believe this is a $50 game, but it's also on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass, so that's actually how I'm going to be playing this game. I would like to kind of have all these games in one kind of collection. Sadly, as we've talked about before, this game is just digital. This game, Alan Wake, these are kind of the newer, bigger games that are making the push to just being digital only. Not a fan of that, because I would like kind of a collection of these games, but it is what it is. So I'm excited. Again, the review scores really, to me, do not change my mind in any way about this game. It really just seems like how much you value what they gave us. And it seems like there's definitely quality in the side stuff. Even the lower scores, I didn't see anything negative said about the side things to do, mini games, etc. It was more, does the story, is it padding? The story, does that have padding to it? Is it long enough? Did this actually need to come out when in just a couple more months we get, Infinite Wealth? For me, as I've said, I'm excited to see our man Kiryu Kazuma come back. I'm willing to play a game that's, 10, 15, 20 hours. To me, that's perfect. I got some backlog games I still got to get to or kind of go back to, games that released in August and September. So I didn't want to spend 80 hours on this because I'm expecting to spend that on Infinite Wealth. The 7th game, that game is massive. That game is 70, 80, 90 hours, and I'm sure Infinite Wealth will get close to the 100-hour mark too. So this game was never supposed to be a 100-hour game. That's literally in 2-3 months, right, is when Infinite Wealth comes out. That's what that game is. This game is not supposed to be that long. So I'm pumped. I don't really care what the scores say. It is interesting to see how long the game is. Like, that is definitely something I wanted to see come out as these reviews went out. And now I got my answer. So I'm excited to play it and hopefully beat it like within a week or so and get in, get out perfectly fine, and then get ready for what's most likely going to be one of the most epic experiences of our lives in Infinite Wealth and the heartstrings that they're going to tug on in that game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.